According to Google, the website Britannica describes a monarchy as a political system based upon the undivided sovereignty or rule of a single person. The term usually applies to states in which the supreme authority is vested in the monarch, an individual ruler who functions as the head of state and who achieves his or her position through heredity. And usually, this ruler can either be a king or queen. For example, the UK is currently ruled by a queen who is Queen Elizabeth II. In this video, we bring you the only two African monarchies on the African continent. These countries are currently ruled by kings. I know you might already be perplexed and scratching your head, asking yourself, which are these countries? Because many of the other African countries are currently having rulers or leaders that were elected or voted by the public. But this is not the case for these two countries that we are about to share in this video. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone so that they get to learn more about the African continent. Eswatini, or formerly known as Swaziland, is an independent country found within South Africa. The country is currently ruled by King Mswati III, who has ruled the country since 1986. It is one of those countries on the African continent that is governed as an absolute monarch, where power and leadership of the country runs through one royal family. The current King Mswati was born in 1968, and he knew he was going to become king at the age of 14. This came after the death of his father, King Sobhuza II, in 1982. Mswati was selected among the 60 children that the previous king had, but he only assumed power or the throne at the age of 18. He has since then ruled the country from that time to date. Eswatini only allows the people to elect 59 members to the House of Assembly, and the other 10 members are selected by the king himself. When this selection is over, the king then chooses his prime minister and the cabinet of the country. Now, these are some of the absolute powers of the king. He's responsible for appointing the judges, the ministers, the civil servants, and he also summons and dissolves the Eswatini parliament. The king can also pass or block any kind of legislation in the country, so in case there is any law that he feels doesn't favor him in one way or the other, he obviously has to block this law. And now, this will also surprise you. This same king owns almost all the land in the country plus its mineral resources. So you can imagine that kind of society. Looking at the economy of the country, it is a struggling one because it keeps getting aid and donations from the South African government. So in my opinion, I believe this is a ticking bomb because people in such a country keep getting exposed to what is actually happening in other countries, because with high levels of unemployment, this basically builds pressure upon the society. So I believe at one point these people are going to rise up and basically demand for a democratic way of governance in their country. Morocco is the other absolute monarchy on the African continent. It is currently under the rulership of King Mohammed VI, who assumed the throne in 1999 after the death of his father, King Hassan II. The king in Morocco has extensive and absolute powers over the country. He presides over the Council of Ministers, and he's also responsible for appointing the Prime Minister from the political party that wins the elections in the country. The king in Morocco also has the powers to terminate the services of any minister in the country, and he can also dissolve the parliament to rule by decree. Looking at the laws of the country, the king is formally the chief of the military in the country. So this basically goes to show you the kind of powers that this king has in the country. Well, those are the two monarchies that we have on the African continent, and in my opinion, I believe these are ticking bombs in these countries, because at one point the people in these countries are going to demand for democratic governance in their countries. So this, I believe, is a ticking bomb, and at one point civil war is going to break out in these countries. We hope you learned a thing or two about these absolute monarchies on the African continent, and in case you did, you can let us know down in the comments where you're watching this video from. And for more of these African videos, be sure to like, subscribe and share this video with someone so that they get to learn more about the African continent. Thank you so much for watching this video. Watch more here to learn about Africa.